All right, here we are in section 3.3, Brownlow Hurston's 13th edition. Make sure you have your notebook, pencil, periodic table, and calculator out. And we're going to learn about formula weight today. So chemical formulas and chemical equations both have quantitative significance in the subscripts and the formulas as well. And to delve or dive into the quantity or numerical or mathematical part, we need the periodic table and we need your calculator. And the first thing that we're going to learn is something called the formula weight. The formula weight comes from the atomic weights, or the relative atomic weights, from the periodic table in the upper right hand corner of each one of the species that make up a particular molecule or formula. To make it more complex, the formula weight is also known as 6 other things. Another word you'll see that means the same thing are formula mass, molecular mass, molar mass. Or you could replace all those with the word weight, and then you could have formula weight, molar weight, molecular weight, or atomic weight. Now, it can only be atomic weight if it's just an atom, but lots of times you see things that are atoms and they'll mean the same thing as formula or molecular or molar weight or mass. Here's an example of what we mean when we say add them up on the periodic table or sum the atomic masses on the periodic table. Find the formula weight for glucose. Well, look on the periodic table and find carbon. Carbon's atomic mass is 12. There are 6 of them in the formula, so we would take 6 times 12. Find the formula or atomic mass for hydrogen. Hydrogen has an atomic mass really close to 1, so we'd write down 12 times 1 because there are 12 hydrogens in there. And then find the formula or atomic mass for oxygen, and oxygen is 15.99, so we just round that to 16 to make it really easy. And we multiply that by 6 because there's 6 of them in the formula. So multiply each one out and then add them all together and you get 180. And this is the formula weight, the molecular weight, the molar weight in atomic mass units, AMUs, for that particular substance. And it turns out that this is analogous to the number of grams in a certain number of particles that we'll learn about next, called the mole. Before that time, though, we can use this formula weight, molecular weight, molar weight, atomic weight, to calculate what's called the percentage composition of any substance that we know the formula of. So here's one example problem. Let's calculate the percentage of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a different sugar. This one's called sucrose, C12H22O11. So the first thing to do is add them up just like we did. Sum the atomic masses on the periodic table. So when we add up 12 times carbon, carbon is 12 on the periodic table, plus 22 times 1, since hydrogen is 1, and then 11 times 16, because oxygen is 16 on the periodic table, we end up with a total of 342. So there's my math right here, but 342 is the formula mass or the molar mass for that particular substance. I think this example problem is right over here on this page as well. Yep. So next we want to find the percentage of carbon. So we want to take part divided by whole. So the part that is carbon is 12 times its mass, 12. Where did I find that? The periodic table, this relative atomic mass. And then divide it by the whole thing, which is 342. So 144 divided by 342 times 100 gives me 42.1% carbon. I can do the same thing for oxygen and hydrogen, part divided by a whole. So here's hydrogen. Hydrogen is 22 times 1 divided by 342 times 100 gives me my percentage of 6.4. I can do the same thing for oxygen. Oxygen is 16 times 11 divided by 342 times 100 is 51.5%. Now I could have found this same thing because I know that all of these have to add up to 100 by just subtracting from 100 as well. So I could have done 100 minus each of these and I would have gotten 51.5%. But it's a handy way to check your work too, is to add these 3 together and make sure you end up with 100%. then you know you did it correctly. So there's your intro to formula weight, formula mass, molecular mass, molar weight, atomic mass, atomic weight, and put all those things down in your notes because they're going to come back and haunt us forever and forever in this class. So good luck with your formula weight calculations.